Hi, everyone. This is Deena Hassan. I'm the Partner Relations Leader at the Applied Innovation Center, an affiliate of the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology in Egypt. We're going to be using this session to shed some light around what is the Applied Innovation Center, as well as talk about some of the high-impact AI projects that are developed within the Egyptian government. Applied innovation is basically the direct application and implementation of innovative ideas, tools, techniques, and methods. And they are usually deployed to address real-world problems. So it's all really about creative thinking and minimizing the gap between innovation and the theory in practice and on the ground. So the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology in Egypt fosters a culture of innovation and tries to help bring in novel ideas to reality. And accordingly, the Applied Innovation Center was set up by the ministry about 4 years ago, exactly in April 2020. And the idea was that to have the Applied Innovation Center as an applied R&D center that basically provides solutions or novel solutions for problems that are of national importance. Those solutions get to be developed using emerging information technologies, such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, business analytics or data analytics, cybersecurity. Really, the sky is the limit. So the focus is really using emerging technologies in order to develop novel solutions that address national challenges. Another very important objective from having the center is basically developing the skills of human capital through the on-the-job training. So we get to develop the expertise of our teams through working on real projects, so they have a hands-on experience rather than delivering classroom training. To develop our solutions or to be able to commit or deliver our mission, AIC has the appropriate tools that allows us to deliver to our mission. And that includes a high-performance computer facility that is owned by the center. And that basically allows the opportunity for the deep learning and parallel computing workloads. And you get to use the most appropriate technologies to develop and maintain the innovative solutions that we work on in a variety of domains. So we're not restricted to one specific domain. We develop solutions in a variety of domains, including, let's say, healthcare, education, agriculture, management of national resources, and many more. All the projects that we get to develop at the center are usually done in collaboration with top-tier government entities, but that's not only limited to government entities. We get to also collaborate with the industry. We get to collaborate with academia, with renowned research institutes, whether those are local to Egypt or international. And it's worth mentioning that AIC is actually a member of the Global GovTech Alliance since late 2022. The Alliance is basically a global network of like-minded GovTech and CivTech programs, and it includes government entities, enterprises, academia, and not-for-profit organizations, and those come from more than 17 countries. And the mission of the Alliance is basically that we get to establish an ecosystem where the members of the Alliance collaborate, share experiences and lessons learned and best practices on how to transform governments using technology and using innovation. The Ministry of Communications and Information Technology in Egypt leads the digital transformation journey for the Egyptian government. And usually the digital transformation projects get to or are delivered by many of the local and multinational companies present in Egypt. However, there is a very small slice of projects that require some research and require innovation. And this is where AIC comes in. There are 3 criteria that get to define which projects we get to involve in, whether if the project is unique in nature, where basically it cannot be delivered of one of the high-tech companies present in Egypt, or if there is a factor of confidentiality and sensitivities, given that we're part of the government, then if the project involves confidential data, then we get to deliver such a project. And finally, when there is a strategic requirement for the ownership of a specific technology or the adaptation of a specific technology, then again, we get to do that at AIC. We follow a partnership model. So usually the problem that we get to solve, there is a problem owner. whom we call a beneficiary partner, who has a deep level of understanding of the problem at hand, who has the domain expertise, and who has the data if we're talking about AI-related projects. We at AIC, we do provide the IT and technical expertise, and we jointly partner and work hand in hand in order to develop the novel solution that gets to address the problems that the problem owners have. Of course, there are numerous problems that get to be solved. So we usually try to define a priority list with the beneficiary or with the problem owners, such that we get to address the priority problems first. In order to deliver to our mission, as I said earlier, the center owns a high-performance computer that was purchased with the setup of the center 4 years ago. With the growing number of projects and the need for more compute power and storage capacity, we're looking at extending the capacity of our existing HPC, plus we're looking at buying a new machine as well. The team, which is our main asset, is comprised of around 200 engineers and applied scientists spread over 2 sites, one in Cairo and another in Alexandria, and with a third site coming up in the Knowledge City in the administrative capital very soon. And we do have a dedicated team of highly skilled professionals that are focusing primarily on the management of the high-performance computing facility owned by the center, in addition to our experienced R&D engineers that get to work on the novel solutions that we develop. As I said earlier, we're not restricted to specific domain. We work on developing solutions in a variety of domains. And I would like to use the remaining minutes of those sessions in order to shed the light around some of those projects. So if you may allow me, I will start with the NLP projects. So I've mentioned that AIC is a solutions development center. However, in some of the situations, we can get into the realm of developing technology if that technology is required in order to serve our mission. So what we've done is that since the setup of AIC, the team has been focusing on developing novel solutions that are able to process the Arabic language, both the Egyptian colloquial Arabic with its different dialects that is spoken in Egypt, along with the modern standard Arabic. And what we do is that the developed models basically recognize the spoken Arabic and converts that into written text. The developed technology takes multiple factors into consideration. So we are able to identify speaker separation in case of a multi-party conversation. Our engine supports noise cancellation capabilities. We are able to automatically detect languages for the language switching capabilities. For example, if a person is speaking in Arabic and within the dialogue there are some English words that are embedded, then we are able to detect the languages and do the language switching. And we also provide the capability to integrate the automatic speech recognition engine that we've developed with other systems. The accuracy of the developed engine is of world-class accuracy. So the accuracy of the different models that we've developed is between 91 and 97% and can be used in a variety of applications. For example, the transcription of meeting minutes or the transcription of legal proceedings. The center has also developed AI models capable of translating the Arabic language, whether Egyptian colloquial Arabic or modern standard Arabic, to tens of European and Asian languages, which creates an opportunity for instant machine translation applications in many fields, like, for example, translating media programs, translating books, articles. This is in addition to the real-time support of a multilingual business process outsourcing activities. Based on the advanced skills of our team at AIC, the team has won the first place in 4 out of 6 parts of the unsupervised machine translation competition at the World Conference on Machine Translation in 2022, beating the teams from MIT and Hawaii. Moreover, the center has also developed engines for converting the written Arabic into spoken speech, both again in Egyptian colloquial Arabic and modern standard Arabic, in a voice that really matches the reading of famous broadcasters and media program presenters. Based on the high accuracy, again, of our text-to-speech engine, it was approved in August last year to use our engine for broadcasting news in the World Athletics Championship, that took place in Budapest in Hungary, where we were broadcasting the news to the athletes and the visitors visiting Budapest in Arabic, among other 10 official languages. The precision of the AIC NLP models is among the highest in the world in processing Egyptian colloquial Arabic specifically, ahead of Microsoft, for example, Facebook Meta, Google, Columbia University, and others. Based on the successful delivery of these Arabic NLP models, some of the solutions have been developed and others are actually in progress. So, for example, in the business process outsourcing domain, we're working on developing a solution for automating the quality assurance process for call centers and customer services. The solution basically allows the analysis of 100% of the voice data that call centers get to receive. And the engine is able to perform semantic and acoustic analysis of the dialogue or of the voice conversation taking place. And the engine can detect issues such as non-compliance with policies and improper situation handling by the agents. And moreover, the engine actually will be analyzing the customer's input to extract information indicative of the level of satisfaction or dissatisfaction by the clients during the interaction or during the call with the call center agents. Moving from the NLP realm, I'll go into the judiciary system. The center, we've developed a system for capitalizing on our NLP models. We've developed a system for the judiciary system for recording and transcribing legal proceedings in courts and prosecution sessions. Moreover, we're developing a number of solutions aiming at providing decision support for judges. One of those solutions that is currently under development will provide an estimated value of alimony as an aid to judges, increasing the harmonization through the and reducing the differences in alimony estimates from guided by previous court cases. Generative AI cannot be left unattended. Generative AI is something that we're looking at to create more systems to support judges in courts. The support can be in the area of automatic classification of court cases, using generative AI capabilities for the summarization of legal documents, retrieval of previous similar court cases, legal drafting assistance, and many more. And this is something that we're currently actively pursuing and working on. Moving to healthcare, AIC has developed and continues to develop AI-based systems that enable mass screening for broad impact diseases. 18% of the Egyptian population is suffering from diabetes. And untreated diabetic retinopathy is one of the most common causes of sight deterioration and blindness among diabetic patients. And when the condition is detected early, treatment is really effective and can basically reduce or even prevent the damage to the patient's vision. So what we've done at the center is that we have collaborated with ophthalmologists in order to develop an AI engine that can be used for screening for diabetic retinopathy. So we rely on AI techniques and computer vision techniques to classify images from the retina and detect the level of diabetic retinopathy that the diabetic patient is suffering from. The developed engine actually has achieved world-class accuracy that is close to 97% based on data of Egyptian patients. When we succeeded with that project, we took that one step further by developing another engine for screening or for the detection or diagnosis of glaucoma, which is another disease or disorder affecting the eyesight or the vision. And based on the validated data set that we have, the engine currently has reached an accuracy of around 92%. And we're working on additional data collection activities that would allow us to improve the performance and accuracy of the developed engine. Another example of healthcare solutions that we're currently working on is an engine for breast cancer diagnosis. We are collaborating with one of the Egyptian NGOs, Bahia Foundation, which is an NGO that is supporting Egyptian women suffering from breast cancer. So we were working with them in order to create this engine for breast cancer diagnosis based on the analysis of mammogram images. And among the other areas that we're also looking at beyond the diagnostic solutions for the many of the physical disorders, we're also looking at getting into the realm of developing diagnostic and therapeutic solutions for mental health or mental illnesses. And we're currently looking at, for example, creating AI-based solutions for the screening of detection of some of the neurodevelopmental disorders that some of the children suffer from, like the autism spectrum disorder or the ADHD. There are also efforts towards using the same approaches for detecting neurodegenerative disorders like the mild cognitive impairments that affect the elderly people, as well as the Alzheimer's detection. One other aspect that we're looking at is creating a cultural sensitive mental health support chatbot that can be used to provide support, or at least basic and initial support, to people suffering from mental disorders such as depression and anxiety, stress. So it's not the idea that we're going to be replacing the efforts and the work of psychiatrists and psychologists, but what we're thinking of that this chatbot would be like a first level of support or a first line of support that would help the patient realign their thoughts and become willing to seek professional help that can be provided by experienced professionals such as psychologists and psychiatrists. If I move to the agriculture domain, we have developed a decision support system for decision makers, where basically we created an interactive, dynamic interactive map showing the land usage in Egypt. And that's basically based on the analysis of images or satellite images. We get to draw this interactive map that shows the usage of land. We get to show the boundaries of agricultural land. We get to show other types of land usages, such as buildings, roads, aqua farms, trees, and so forth. And this would give really the decision makers a view of how the land is being used in Egypt, as well as provide a view of the boundaries of agricultural land and the order of magnitude of the agricultural land. We've also created another engine or another model that uses the satellite images as well in order to detect what sorts of crops are cultivated in the agricultural land. We have focused on 6 crops, primarily wheat, rice, sugarcane, beets, and corn, whether sorghum or maize. And the engines that we've created are able to detect the cultivated crops at an accuracy that is in the 90s, with the exception of the maize and sorghum. It's only in the 80s, and this is given the fact that there are a lot of similarities between the images of both crops. So additional techniques need to be used in order to identify those differences, raising the accuracy beyond the 90s as well. Last but not least, so that I can allow room for questions, we have also another project for the management of national resources that is again based on GIS and based on the analysis of the satellite images, where we're trying to basically monitor the progression of urban development or the progression of buildings, so that we can see, or we can have like an informed decision making when it comes to the planning for urban development. I will stop at here, and thank you for listening to this brief presentation about AIC and the high impact AI projects that are developed by the Egyptian government. And I'll be more than happy to get your questions. Okay. I can see on the chat, there are a few questions. The first question is that, are there continuous calls for this kind of projects to let researchers join or not? So basically, the way we do things is as follows. We do not really publish calls for these kinds of projects. However, what we do whenever we have a new project at the center, what we do is that we get to form or we get to hire the teams for the project. Usually the teams are led by an expert in the domain we're looking at, along with junior and senior R&D engineers to work. So we do not have permanent hires at the center. We get to hire the required skills that are needed for a specific project. And from a year and a half or two, and we get to hire for those projects. Of course, we announce the hiring positions on our website. So it's not like that we are announcing calls for joining the projects. However, we get to publish the job openings or the job vacancies on the AIC website, so that whenever we have a new project for which we need to recruit. Another question that is on the chat is saying, do you have any robotics projects, or are there any plans to focus on robotics? Currently, as we speak, we don't have any robotics related projects, but there is nothing that would stop us from doing that. As I said, we are basically not coupled or limited to a specific technology. We are focusing on using the right technology to solve the problem at hand. So if there is a problem that requires doing a project in the robotics field, then of course we would do that, and we would get to hire the teams and the experts required to deliver that project. Okay. There is another question that says, do you have any projects in the sector of project management and project management office? The answer is yes. We do have a project management office at the center. So we have a dedicated project management team with a lead PMO and a team of project managers to get to, of course, manage all the large scales or the mega projects that we work on. Okay, there is another question that says, are models created by AIC available for research or usage by public projects? So the models that are developed by AIC are solely owned by AIC, so they are not published for research purposes. However, they are available for deployment or for creating the solutions and for deploying them, whether deploying them within the Egyptian government or deploying them outside the government. For example, as I mentioned, we're working with Bahia Foundation in order to develop this engine for breast cancer diagnosis. So for a start, this is going to be used by Bahia, and of course, it's going to be rolled out for production level deployment within other institutes within Egypt. There is a point that says, I think you should think to have partners from Egyptian research sectors to encourage young scientific researchers. So we do have partnerships with research institutes, as I said, and academia. So and this is not only local in Egypt, but also with international entities. So we set up partnerships with academia and with renowned research institutes, as well as high-tech IT companies, whether local or international. And also to support building human capital or building the skills of human capital. We also participate sometimes with many of the universities delivering hackathons for students and delivering student support programs, and even supporting some of the graduation projects of with some of the universities, so that we can help share the knowledge and expertise that we have within our teams with young researchers. There is another question that says, why we never hear about those projects, and are they kind of access, and is there any kind of access to those projects? Well, there are some announcements around these projects in the media. and we can share with the community the access to the AIC website, where we get to announce our projects and we get to share information around those projects. So I'll make sure that I put the link to the website in the chat. There are many more questions, so I'm trying to